Evening, everybody. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. We had nice weather all weekend, didn't we? Or did we? Did it rain on Saturday? I don't remember. I'm lucky I remembered today. It did get up to 63, so I was happy about that. And Daryl took me to the greenhouse. I didn't even have to twist his arm. So I had fun doing that. Let's see what else. We put up information for the Ohio meetup, June 12th, at Campground in New Lyme, Ohio. There's a link down in the description if you're interested. Tonight we're going to Quebec, Canada, where they speak French. I know that much.
Oui, oui.
See?
Oui, oui.
Yeah. French fries. I don't know.
Didn't they have the World's Fair in Quebec at one time?
Toronto. They had World's Fair in Toronto.
Was it Toronto?
It was Toronto.
Okay.
I've been to Toronto, Hamilton, Canada, and Niagara Falls and Crystal Beach. That's it for Canada for me. And that was all.
That was it?
That was it. Yeah.
Well, we used to kind of jump across the border quite often.
We only went to Canada once, Niagara Falls.
No, used to drive across from Detroit.
Oh, okay. Yes, we did. You're right. To, where was that?
The casino.
I know that, but I don't remember the city.
That was back when we had money, when we were still gainfully employed. And
yeah, we were both employed.
we were
stupid.
We weren't homesteading. We actually had money.
Yep. So anyway, we are going to bring Mallory on the screen here. And, oh, you've been to Nova Scotia. I've never been there. I'd like to go there. They have salmon. See? Cameron Bowes like French fries also. Montreal. Thank you, Howie. World's Fair was in Montreal.
Montreal.
See? I didn't go to it. I don't know. I went to the one in New York City.
Well, I have to look at the date, but I believe that's the one I went to with my parents when I was...
That's what you keep telling me.
When I was a wee lad.
That long ago?
Yes.
Okay. That's why you forget. Okay, bring her on the screen.
Are we ready?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Here she is.
Hey. How are you?
So, how is Mallory doing?
I'm good. I'm staying warm. I got like all these layers on because our fuse broke on our furnace and we're out of firewood. So we've been burning scraps and trying to keep warm just for this little cold snap that we had. So
yeah,
that's what we're doing right now.
I noticed that cold snap. I watched your video. Well, holy cow.
Yeah, and it still snowed today. Everything's still frozen over today. And so we're just trying to keep warm and, you know, dealing with the kids doing the school at home because we're still on full lockdown and everything's closed right now. So we're just very limited. So I'm living on YouTube right now.
Well, if you would, share with us the lockdown in Canada, because I think that's more strict than it is here.
Well, I think, didn't they just do another lockdown like 10 days ago or something?
Yeah, just about. Well, we've been, since Christmas, it's been pretty strict, actually. We weren't allowed to spend Christmas with family at all. We could even get a fine, like a pretty salty fine, if we were caught just roaming in our car with no reason. So we've been pretty much just seeing our little tiny bubble and being really careful. There was a curfew. We'd have to, I think it was like 8 o'clock, you have to be inside. And so the people in the cities, it's really hard for them, you know, because they would go out for their walk. They'd get done with work, go on their walk, and then, you know, they couldn't go back outside.
Yeah.
So it's been pretty hard for a lot of people. We're lucky because we're out there. So there's not really a problem. Nobody's going to be calling on us anytime soon for being outside, you know. But it's mostly they just don't want you to visit. They'd have to have their binoculars
to see them.
Right?
You got a little bit of property there that you have to go out and maintain.
Yeah, it's 200 acres is a lot to maintain, especially, you know, with Ben being not ill, but with his back being out so often, you know, that's why he was invalidated by the military. So I think he was 26 when they told him to retire. And so he's just on full medical leave, and we're living out here ever since.
So it was a medical discharge from the Canadian Armed Forces.
Yeah.
And I don't know. The Armed Forces in Canada, do they have different branches? Like in the States, we have Marines and Air Force and the Navy and all that. Do they have the same sort of thing there?
Yeah, they have the same thing. He was in the Army. He was artillery.
Okay.
And he was a sergeant. He was one of the youngest sergeants that they had. And he did 2 tours in Afghanistan. The first tour in 2007, he hit an IED, and unfortunately, it took him a little while for him to get diagnosed and everything. So he stayed in the Army all that time, and he had time to do a second tour after that. And after that tour, it just went like downfall from there with everything. So,
but you were also in the or in the armed services. The services, and were you in the Army too, or?
No, we met in the Army cadets when we were really young. Actually, I think we were like 13 or 14 years old when we met each other. We lost sight.
Really?
And then we crossed paths a few other times in the Army cadets on a physical training 6-week exercise, actually. And then we lost track again because I moved a lot when I was younger. Like, I'm actually from California, and I lived in Vancouver, BC for a little while before coming to Quebec. That's why I speak so good English. And oh my gosh, I see so many people in the chat. I just want to say hello to everybody. I see Bettina, I see Jean-Philippe Ross, a whole bunch of people from my channel that are over here. Thank you guys so much for coming. I have amazing, 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 amazing friends as subscribers. It's just so crazy. I love this platform.
Well, you certainly have put together not only a very nice channel in English, but for those of you out here that are maybe not familiar with her, she also has what do you call it, a duplicate channel?
Yeah.
I mean, does it have the same content?
Almost.
Almost? Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. It's
just in French.
Yeah, it's just in French. It's just like if I would translate the name, it would be Malo at the farm. So it's Malo à la ferme. And it's pretty much like I will just go out with my camera and show everything that I'm doing here, and pretty much the same as I do here, except for I do post a lot more on my English channel because the money's better in English than in French. So that's why I push more content out on Quebec Homestead.
And she just got monetized on her French channel.
I did. It didn't even take me a year. I was so excited.
Wow. But
yeah.
But you indicated that the money's better. Is this the rate of exchange? The dollar is just plain worth more? Is that what you're saying, or?
No, like if I dove into my analytics a little bit, and the what is it called? The CT. What is it? The CFM. CFM. I don't know. It's the amount of money per 1,000 views or mil views. I don't know exactly how it's translated. Is a lot higher in English because the U.S. audience gets more. Gives more money than the Canadian audience or the France audience.
Yeah, from the advertisers. The advertisers are putting more money into the American.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Very interesting. I mean, and obviously, I would have never known that. And I think that's very, very interesting, very fascinating.
Yeah, it is. And actually, it's funny because I remember I posted on your group, on the Small Homesteaders, a little while ago, and Jess from Roots and Refuge said, I would maybe just think about that because she brought it up. And I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And I looked that up, and it's totally, totally true. So, yeah. Viper says, we should do a French collab. Man, I've been asked to do a whole bunch of collabs recently. I just don't have the time. I'm gonna do one with Vineyard Chicks. I just love their channel with these 3 little girls. Great. And so we're gonna do a song together. We're gonna do the song "Someone Like You" from Adele, and she's gonna play piano. She's gonna send it to me, and then I'm gonna sing on it. And I just love those three little girls like crazy. I'm like their biggest fan.
Yeah, they've got a really cute channel.
They really do.
So, what got you into YouTube? How did you get started in this?
Man, ever since I was a teenager, I would film everything. Like, I wouldn't take photos, I would take videos. And so I always knew that I was going to do something with video. I just never really had the time. I was working as an appraiser for the city of Quebec back before meeting Ben. And it was a pretty crazy job. I used to do like 60, sometimes 70 hours a week. And so I didn't really think of it. I was just a very avid, like a good viewer, pretty much. And then I came across, when I was living through my first homestead before moving here, we built our first homestead from the ground up in 2014. And I was literally living in a trailer without electricity or running water for 6 months. And we built our whole homestead, the house and the farm, the farm buildings, in 6 months on a generator with no running water and no electricity. And I also got pregnant that year. And I came across Roots and Refuge and Arms Family Homestead, and they were two of like my inspirations for starting the whole YouTube. And so when I moved from that homestead, I had my 2 babies. I moved here in 2017, and I had like really bad internet when I got here. So I continued to video everything. And I started my YouTube channel a year later when I got my fiber optic internet, which was a blessing from God. Like, I never thought that being so out here, I would ever get like good internet like this, right? So there was a grant from the government, and they wanted everybody to have access to internet in this area. So I just like got so blessed with that. And now I have unlimited high-speed internet. And like, I'm doing this on Wi-Fi.
So are you, just how far out are you?
From like a city?
Yeah.
The closest city that we have here is about 25 minutes away, and it's 8,000. The population is 8,000 people. And the biggest city that we have, which is an hour and 15 minutes away, is Quebec City.
Okay, so if you want to go to Walmart, it's an all-day adventure.
Yes, 100%.
Wow.
And that's like, the Walmart is an hour and a half away.
Okay, well, let's shelf Walmart for a moment. What about, and obviously this is something that people have to consider, especially when they're moving out. What about, and I think maybe you know where I'm going with this, medical type things, as far as hospitals and emergency response and so on and so forth.
Yeah, so the medical here, it's so. I mean, we do have like a small clinic that's like for everybody, public, and it's about 15 minutes away, and every little village has one main one that they go to. So like, maybe like you'll have 3 villages around that go to one clinic, and then if you have something bigger that you need to like get checked or something, and you go to that clinic, they have an ambulance service that'll bring you to the hospital. But the nearest hospital that I have here is in that city with 8,000 people. So, and it's pretty good. They do pretty much everything. And we also have like little physio clinics and chiropractors and stuff. So honestly, I've never had a problem so far, like to have access to medical.
Well, that's obviously that's good.
Yeah, and that was something that we absolutely needed. Like, I told Ben, I don't want to be more than 20 minutes away from the big highway, and that was like one of the, like, I put my foot down. I said, I'm not going to live out there like an hour away from that big highway because it's just too far. And
who was it we were talking to that they signed up for air ambulance?
I don't remember.
but they're far enough out that helicopter was really the only reasonable way that they could be helped, and it's a thing that they had to sign up for. It's a pretty reasonable thing.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Wow.
But anyway, didn't know, and obviously with where you're at, I would think that weather would also be a factor in that.
Weather for the hospitals and stuff?
Well, just for you getting out, getting to go someplace, and.
Well, honestly, like, we have a big pickup truck, and it's it gets us around. And I've been driving in the snow and ice, like really bad conditions. I used to work on the road, so I'm really comfortable driving on those. Like I will go out in a huge snowstorm. It doesn't scare me anymore. Like I will not see the road, and I will go out. Like that's how confident I am now. It's just, you just got to make sure you have really good tires, and you don't drive too fast, and make sure that your car is in order. It's never stopped me, or Ben.
So you mentioned that this is your second homestead. Where was your first one? Was it also in Canada, or? Yeah.
Well, okay. I was born in California. My dad had a hobby farm in San Diego, so I was born on a homestead. And then we moved to Vancouver in the city. And in 96, I lived in Vancouver for 6 years. And then in 96, we moved to a homestead where my dad bought, and he renovated the whole thing. We had pigs, horses, cows, chickens, turkeys, you name it. We had everything. We had an orchard, a greenhouse. So I really grew up in this. And then I left for the city to go to school. I actually went to Alaska for a full year. In between, after my high school, I went to Alaska because my mom's there and I have a brother there. And then I came back, met Ben. We built a homestead before coming here, which was in 2014. So we built it, both of us, from the ground up. And when he finally got liberated from the army, we decided that we weren't obligated to be close to the military base anymore. So we just decided to sell and scoot and go all the way out here where the properties are really inexpensive. And so we were able to have this 2,000 acres, literally for nothing. Well, not nothing, but, for the money that we had invested already in the other house, we weren't going up in our mortgage or anything. So we were just keeping the same level of comfort, if we can say, financially.
With an increase in property size and.
Yeah. We went from 5.5 acres to 200 acres.
Wow.
Yeah.
Just a small increase.
just a little.
Okay. Well, with 200 acres to take care of, I mean, that's a lot.
Yep.
That's without question. That's a lot.
Yep.
Are you working this as a ranch or farm or anything like that, or is it, for the most part, is it pretty well just not doing anything with it?
There's a whole bunch of this property that needs wood to be harvested because it's just falling. We have really intense winds here because we're on top of the mountain, and we do have maple trees, which I think we could potentially tap about 2,000 maple trees. So that's in the plans, in their 5-year plan. We want to have the boiler and everything professionally to sell maple syrup.
Sure.
And we install our orchard. So we have I think 20, a little bit over 20 apple trees, and the rest are plum and pear trees, and I got a few cherries. In the beginning, I really wanted to do a market garden, and I set it up as a market garden. And then, COVID happened because I've only been here for 4 years. And, the first few years I was teaching some kids how to garden and trying to keep them out of trouble because the 13, 14-year-old age here, there's a big, how can I say that? I'm thinking in French right now because I did the project in French. But the parents are working, the kids, they're too old to be in the summer little camps that we have here, or they don't want to. So they sort of get into trouble. And, being so out here, there's a lot of that. So I was trying my best to try to keep them out of trouble, and I had them for the summer. So they helped me, and I showed them how to set up a market garden. All the profits went to them, and and then COVID hit. So then I couldn't do that no more. And then, we have a whole bunch of renovations to do around the house. And I realized that I needed a greenhouse before thinking of doing anything commercially on the veggie side, because it's just, the season is just too short here. So
livestock?
No, we're not too much into livestock, honestly, because we just got so much going on, and we did raise a few cows, like for our meat. And honestly, like, we have such an awesome local community. Like, we have friends that have pigs, friends that have cows. We actually board some cows here in the summertime, some milk cows, and one got lost last year, and they gave us permission to harvest her, because she was just wild. She was just wild. She would go to the beaver dam, and she would literally just go drink there and eat out of the forest. She free range on her 200 acres, and we just weren't able to catch her, so we had to go get her. So
she was like a wild hare.
She was, and that's what happens here. If you have like a livestock that gets that's like roaming free, they will survive a winter. They will be wild, like literally.
So you'd mentioned a 5-year plan.
Mm-hmm.
And is this something that you've kind of sketched out? I mean, obviously, I think a lot of people do this, and you say you've been there now for about 5 years. Is that right?
4 years this year in May.
4 years this year?
Yeah.
So assuming you kind of roughed out a 5-year plan 4 years ago, are you on track?
Well, let me think of that. When we got here, the main goal was to get the house livable, because it was a dump. It was like literally a dump. And so we accomplished that in a good timing. It's still not finished, but it's livable. And we do have one wall that we wanted to finish. This year we were thinking of maybe getting another wall completely redone, because it's just so old. And last year our project took a little too long with the wall, actually, because we had to redo a whole bunch of the foundation of the like all the wood was just completely rotten, so we had to replace that, and we weren't expecting to do so much like that year. So I would say, like, garden wise, I think we're on track, because I'm getting my season extension. We're getting our greenhouse in. That was in our plan for this year. It's just the renovations that are taking longer, I guess. Like, if I look at my 5-year plan that I had originally, because it just costs so much.
Well, like, even besides costs, at least wise, it's always been my experience. You always think you can do more than you can.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And like, we learned from our other homestead too, like when you have kids too, it's like, okay, you have that list for the summer, cut it in half. And then if you have kids, then cut it in half again. And then that's more realistic, because we do tend to have a lot of ambition, and we have such a short season. So it's like impossible for us, like one wall, doing it by ourselves, it's one project in the summer, and then the autumn comes and it's hunting season, and then you spend all your time hunting and not doing anything else. So it does.
Well, your growing season there is fairly short.
Yeah. Yeah, 90 to 100 days.
And that's it, or
yeah.
Okay. Well,
if I'm lucky, 100.
So you can extend that at least partially with a greenhouse.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
But,
yeah.
Just about, I think we can extend it like just about 4 to 5 weeks, like an unheated greenhouse. Like, I'm doing a caterpillar tunnel, and I'm hoping to extend my season like 4 to 5 weeks. And I'd start with like cold weather crops in there, and then once spinach, and I get a few harvests of a few things. I'll put my tomatoes and my peppers and all that good stuff in there that love the heat. My cucumbers too, because cucumbers out here, it just doesn't last very long. So that's pretty much what I do. And then we're getting a greenhouse right next to the house, which is going to be 4 seasons. We're looking into a heating system right now. Probably get like a radiant floor heated, and it'll just be easier to maintain the heat. And then we're going to be able to grow in there all year.
Okay. A radiant heat, is that from a wood burning source?
No, it's probably going to be electric. We were looking, if we're able to get it onto our furnace, that would be nice. But we're still going to have electric because, look now, we're out of wood, and we burnt 16 cords of wood.
Wow, 16 cords.
And we're out. Yeah,
that's a bunch.
It is. It really is.
Well, I'm sure though that you're going to appreciate the price of the wood as compared to the electricity.
Yeah, well, actually, electric isn't too expensive here. We're on hydro, and so it's not that bad, honestly. It's really not that bad.
So when you say hydro, is that a community electric company? Is that
Hydroelectric is the main source of electricity that we have here. They have big dams because we have a lot of water, and so they dam up the rivers, and we have massive dams up north and a little bit around Quebec, and that's how we get our electricity. It's and there's a lot of windmills too. We have a lot of windmills, but the thing is that the hydro plants or the dams, they produce so much electricity already that all the energy produced by the windmills are sold to the States.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that where our green energy stuff is coming from, Canada?
Probably. I don't know.
Sore subject. So what about solar and stuff? Have you guys ever thought about that, or yeah?
Solar, yeah, we have, but honestly, it's not really in our plans right now because we hardly pay for, it doesn't. It's like Flora says right here, hydro is a lot cheaper here than in Ontario, and it's so true. We really, I don't have a problem paying for electric here because it's so cheap.
Okay.
So solar would be nice for a few things, but I wouldn't be investing anytime soon in it because it's just so much more work, and we're overworked right now.
So with 200 acres,
yeah,
a lot of woods,
yeah,
the infrastructure part of that just boggles my mind. By the time you figure fencing and taking care of the property and trying to keep up with it, and so that's going to mean a lot of heavy equipment. How are you sitting on that?
Oh yeah, we invested a lot of our money in heavy equipment. We have our excavator that has been so nice to us, and we have a skidder to get the wood out of the forest, and we bought everything used. And over here, there's a whole bunch of deals that pop up, and we got really lucky with the excavator. And we also have a tractor, 4-wheel drive here, because you will not manage with a 2-wheel drive tractor here. And what else do we have? We got all the attachments that go on it. And we bought everything for really cheap. But like I said, when we moved here, Ben, when he got out of the army, he got a compensation, and so we bought the equipment with that. And so, and now every time we just save up a lot of money, and when we see a good deal, we're really thrifty. So we've learned how to do the mechanics. But the thing is, though, being in a cold climate, working on a cold machine when it's cold outside, it's no fun.
No,
it's no fun. So we're going to be looking into building a heated garage eventually. But we're really lucky, though, because we do have the mill, we have the wood. All we have to do is buy the cement truck and those things, the screws. But we're pretty self-sufficient on wood for the constructions. So we're building our greenhouse with all the wood that we have from our property.
Well, bandsaw mills have become real popular, I think, in this past year.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, the wood is so expensive. But you have to have the wood to do it, too. And the equipment to get the wood out of the forest.
Oh, yeah. And none of it's cheap.
Mm-mm.
None of it is cheap. I mean, the most inexpensive thing probably is the bandsaw mill.
Yeah, I think you can get a decent one for like $3,000 Canadian.
So, how big a mill do you have? And is yours portable, or is it pretty much where it is and you have to bring everything to it?
No, we have to bring everything to it. Ben's building a wood trailer right now, but once he's done that trailer, we're going to have to take some time and build a decent trailer to be able to have it portable, because it'd be just so much easier. Like, we put it on our huge trailer just to bring it to our neighbor, and it's a pain, like literally. So we have to get it lower to the ground, and and we got an extension. We got a track extension on it recently. We haven't installed it yet, but we're going to be able to mill like 16 feet logs. So that'll be a game changer for us.
So if you walked out the back door of your house or the front door, what wildlife creatures might you see from your porch?
This morning we saw a wild turkey right outside of our window. Like the first year that I got here, the lady that was living here was born here. She was 80 years old when she moved. The first week that I moved here, there was a moose right at my back door.
I thought she was going to say there was a lady out there, 80 years old.
The 80-year-old lady.
No, but it's because she wasn't very active, right? So she would pretty much just be in the house and, maybe go tend to her little potatoes. She didn't have much of a big garden or anything anymore because, she'd go to church, she'd do her little things. But yeah, so like I guess the wildlife was running the land. I saw 3 deers in the pasture from my window the other day. I got the drone out and I tried to film them, but they heard me, and it was so windy. I have like one of those mini drones, so the wind was just carrying it away. It was not working, so they heard me and they bolted. We see a lot of foxes from our porch. Foxes are a big one. We see them a lot. Owls, hawks, a lot of hawks.
Absolutely fascinating. Well, I'll tell you what I'm going to do here.
Yeah.
I have the phone lines opened up. Mm-hmm. The numbers are scrolling across the top of the screen. If anybody would like to call in, you just call in that number. Follow the prompts. There's a meeting number you have to enter via the keypad, and then enter the password. Drops you into a waiting room, and then I can admit you into the room here when I see you in the waiting room. So if anybody would like to call in, I'm sure that Mallory would like to say hi to a couple of the folks that she recognizes.
Definitely. Oh, good night, Darren from Thorhaven. Hello, Gemini Homestead. Hi, Mama Z. Who else is in here? Man, I haven't been looking at this chat much. I'm sorry.
That's fine.
Well, actually, that's...
Sean in Alaska, Copper Kettle Farm, Carol.
We have got a nice little crowd in here tonight.
Mama Z is asking if you guys hunt.
Yeah, Ben's a hunter. The first year we got here, we got a moose, but then we weren't allowed to hunt the females, so it was only allowed for the bucks. Didn't get a buck last year or the year before that. And deer hunting, we've never really had much success because we're just so busy during the year that we just haven't tended to the apples and stuff in time. And we just haven't found that spot on their property yet. We need to get some trail cams and stuff, but they're really expensive. And so we're just busy. So if we go out there, if we find something, we're lucky, but we haven't put in enough time in preparing, in the 4 years that we've been here. Our neighbors try to come here and they try to hunt, but we see the footprints everywhere. We know they're there. We see the poop everywhere. They're there, but yeah. Hi, City Girl Country Heart.
Looks like there's a neighbor of yours perhaps in here. Marianne MC.
Marianne MC. Hello from Quebec. Marianne, hello. Cool. Hi, Broken Wolf. Yeah, I see a whole bunch of people. Living Simple Homestead. A whole bunch of... I seriously, like I said, I have amazing friends as subscribers. So like they're not my subscribers anymore, they're my friends. And that's what live streams are. That's why live streams are so cool, and I feel like coming back because they're just such a pick me up.
Mm-hmm. That's right. I totally agree.
Yeah. Brothers camping.
So
Yeah.
is there a single big project that you'd like to get done this year?
Oh, that's definitely our greenhouse.
Greenhouse.
Definitely our greenhouse, because it's going to be 12 by 30, all glass with insulated roof, and it's going to be attached to the house. So I'm just like literally, there's a door right here, and I open it, and it's going to be into my greenhouse.
Very nice.
Well, that'll be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's not going to be like, it's not going to be much for growing in the summertime because there is going to be a roof on it. So, you know, the sun, when it hits in the wintertime, it's fine because the angle comes in like at a 45 degree.
Sure.
But then we lose the sun on the west side, like at around, I'm going to say 2 p.m. maybe, but we get it really, really early because we're on top of the mountain and we have the east side like blaring way, way, way early. So, and then, you know, if we have to, we're going to supplement with lights in the wintertime, but we're going to try to keep the temperature pretty stable in there. Maybe not the first year because the first year we're just trying to get the structure built. But, you know, eventually maybe if we're not able to get the heating system in there this year, it's going to be next year. But, you know, one thing at a time. Like I said, you have a list, cut it in half, you have kids, you know, because that happens.
Yeah.
So just define the terrain around your property. I think it's the second time you said you live up on a hill or a mountain.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
I live on a slope, pretty
slope.
much.
Okay.
My property is on, like I have three 800 feet facing properties, like all mashed up together, and the first one is like on a little slope, and then there's a little plateau, and then it goes all the way up again. And so we have a few flat surfaces, but pretty much everything is on the slope. That's why I said like four-wheel drive tractor is a must, because we just couldn't do it. Like sometimes like the first year I came out here, I went to mow the fields because the fields haven't been tended to in like 15 years. So everything is just overgrown. There's just so much work to do. The drainage, everything's overflowing. All the culverts are in cement. So everything's just like with the freeze and the unfreeze, the ground moves. And so they're just opening. There's a whole bunch of them I have to change. I have an electric pole that's about to fall down. I have to change. It was really run down when we got here. So that's why we're just trying to just keep it afloat. And that on itself is a full-time job. Yeah.
And I see that neighbor of ours down here says, one step at a time, you'll get there. Absolutely.
Carol from A Fishes and Loaves is asking, did you minor in film or photography in school, or are you an author? I ask because you have a gift for visual storytelling.
Oh, Carol, thank you. No, I actually learned. If you go check my first video, it sucks. Like, it sucks. Like, I didn't even edit it. I just talk in front of the camera, and I'm like, okay. I think I was seed starting or something. And that's when I first met you guys. I had under 100 subscribers.
Yep.
And I just have been just working on it. I've just been working on it, watching a lot of YouTube videos. It's like so many people write to me private messaging saying, hey, I need help for this and this. And I'm like, you know how many months it took me to learn this? Like, I cannot explain it just like in a simple conversation. You have to do your research. You have to watch a lot of videos. You know, it's the only way to learn it and have it in your mind is to literally search it and learn it. Like, cause I've been helping out, one of my friends that started, she also has an English and French channel, Back to Basics Homestead. And she's been writing me a lot, and I've been trying to help her, but I'm just so busy, and I'm like, okay, I can refer you to a video that'll help you or something, but like, I just can't take time to explain everything, the whole process, but yeah, I've just been watching a lot of videos.
Yeah, slowly but surely it all sinks in, doesn't it?
It does. Like, for the past 2 years, okay, I say I've been doing this part-time, but honestly, I've been doing this pretty much full-time. Like, and a lot of that is learning. And that's included in that time, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's the only way that and I've been doing it when the kids are asleep, mostly. So I go to bed very late, and I have a wonderful, wonderful man in my life that lets me sleep in the morning. He's so supportive.
That's cool. That's cool. So which one of your videos has done the best?
Definitely my cheaper alternative to cattle panel. I think it hit the algorithm in January, and it's over 333,000 views. And the funny thing is that I did that one on my French channel, and it's hitting the algorithm right now. So I'm like, boom.
Yeah.
I guess do cattle panel videos.
There you go.
And do a Baywatch slow motion. Even if you're mad, I'm sure it'll work.
I thoroughly enjoyed the one where you gave your husband the glasses.
Oh, yeah. That one's been doing very good, too.
That was amazing. And I think I ran it again just so Daryl could see it. That was amazing to see the expression of because you don't realize they don't see the colors.
Right?
That was just wild. That was just so cool.
Yeah, when he told me that he saw the bike, he used to see it white, and it's pink and green. I was like, what? Are you kidding me? You saw that white? And he's like, yeah, he'd never seen the color pink before. And so he was just mind blown. Like, I had an amaranth plant, and he's just like, what? Like, that's pink?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was amazing. And every now and then, like, actually, he wears them every day. He goes to walk our big dog, Darwin, every single day. Rain or shine or snow or sleet, he will walk that dog, like, religiously. And he will do, like, a 3-kilometer run with the dog with his glasses, and he'll just be, like, looking at the scenery.
Well, I'm sure there's some people in here that are a little bit lost on the whole conversation here, the colors and so forth. So give us some of the backstory.
For the Enchroma glasses?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, well, yeah, there's certain types of colorblindness that, you can't see the colors red or green, or you mix up the purple pinks. And so he is proton colorblind, and we were supposed to get married last summer, and that was supposed to be his gift for our wedding day, and I was going to film it and do I was probably going to cry. And then, COVID hit, and we weren't able. We had to cancel the whole wedding. And, we've been together for 10 years. We were going to get married on our 10-year pretty much anniversary. And I decided to give it to him for Father's Day instead. And we had the whole family pitch in, and they all came over. And we gave him the gift of color pretty much. Mm-hmm. So we documented it.
That was so cool.
Absolutely neat.
That was so cool.
Well, we have a caller, so let me get him in the room here. This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
Hi, it's Terry from City Girl Country Heart.
Well,
hi.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good. I have a question for you because I know you were part of Shed Wars this year also.
Yes.
And with having such a short growing season, how are you overcoming that?
Well, I have my grow lights in back of me, and I start everything indoors, and everything stays warm and babied until, I have things that'll produce pretty much the same time. Well, I mean, not the same time, because look at Jess from Roots and Refuge. She's got stuff in the garden already. She's going to have tomatoes waiting.
Oh my gosh, I know.
But I mean, we have a big burst of sunlight here because we're just so high up here, and we have a longer days. So the plants just grow and they explode come August. So the abundance is there even if we start later. And we have so much rain. We have a beautiful climate actually for growing. So that's, the summers here they're just so amazing. You'll see, when I do gardening videos and I'm in my garden, that's my happy place. That's when I'm the happiest. And it's just because the weather is so gorgeous, and, you will not see me complaining on a beautiful day. That's for sure.
Me neither. I love it. It was like today, I went out today. I worked part of the day and went out, and I planted 27 tomato plants that I grew from seed. I have not bought any plants from any nursery or any stores. And this is the first year I'm growing everything that my family's going to eat from seed.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of work. And I mean, it is a short season, but like we've been working on getting that greenhouse extension, the season extension caterpillar tunnel, which unfortunately this year I'm going to get it later because I still need to get the quote from the company, but I'm not going to be getting that plastic on April like I'm supposed to, right? So this year's going to have a later start for that, but it is what it is.
Oh, yeah. Now, is there something up there that you wish you could grow that you can't?
Yes. Apricots. Is like definitely the thing that I've been looking. I think there are some varieties of trees that can grow in my climate, but I have not found any available. Like when I'm looking through all the nurseries and everything, like they sell out so fast. But I think there are one variety here that will withstand our zone 3, but they're just like really small, tiny apricots. But I love apricots.
Couldn't you try growing them in the greenhouse like Danny wanted to do from Deep South Homestead? Because they have trees and containers in their greenhouse.
I don't know how tall you'd have to have your greenhouse for that. Ours is going to be fairly like probably same height as the house actually. So I don't know. It would have to be really dwarf, right?
Yeah, they have dwarf because Gurney's the company they got from is Gurney's, and a couple years ago, either last year or year before, they come out with they're called reachables. They maybe get 6 to 8 feet tall, and that's it.
Oh well, I'm
gonna try and get me some this year or next year.
That might work, but the way that my greenhouse is going to be set up is there's going to be a roof on it that's insulated to keep the heat in, and then it's more like a sunroom, So it wouldn't have that sun from the top of it. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I don't know if that would work. I don't know. We'll have to see.
That'd be pretty interesting to see if it'll work.
Yeah, because I'd have to put it like right next to the window for it to have full sun, And Ben's like into like tropical plants. We just want to have like this beautiful space where we can grow just a few things in the wintertime, And then have our spa right next to it. And then our spa that's been laying around here for like 3 years that's got snow in it right now.
You're so lucky. I love snow. You can send me some during the winter if you want to.
Oh my gosh.
We didn't get none this year. This year.
Where are you at?
I'm in South Carolina.
South Carolina. Yeah. So you get like a little freezes, but nothing too crazy.
This past winter, it was really mild, and I've already started seeing squash bugs last month.
Oh my gosh. What?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because our winter was so mild, I was digging up grubs that were 3 inches long today. My chickens loved me for it, though.
Yeah, wow.
And it's like, I'm seeing bugs that I wouldn't see till like August.
At this time.
Crawling on my plum tree, my peach tree. And it's like, no, that's not going to happen right now.
Bummer. Yeah. Well, I'm able to play out in my soil. It's just like everything's thawed out. It's just that it snows every other day. So it's like, it sucks. Like I was able to go out and dig out my quackgrass, and I saw a few little tiny grubs in the soil, but nothing too crazy. A lot of earthworms. So everything's waking up, but it just snows every few days. Like that's, I see Vineyard Chicks is asking, hello, by the way. I was just talking about you earlier, and she's asking if all my snow melted, and it melted, came back, melted, came back, melted, and then it came back. That's how it is here.
I love snow, but I don't know if I can handle it this far into the year. Just like when everyone was getting all the snow and the ice with these last storms that went across, we were getting tornado warnings and total rain downpours. And if there's storms that are coming across the south and they're coming up through Georgia, I know once they hit Big Bear Homestead, and if they put something on their Facebook about it, half hour later, it's hitting here.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm the same way. When I see people from like Ontario starting to get snow, I know that I'm going to get it like harder in a few days. That's like, I sort of have that warning, and that's what's cool about this here too, is that you can sort of like have that warning ahead of time, you know? But I could not deal with tornadoes. My gosh, like, I don't know how you guys do it. Like tornadoes and earthquakes and tsunamis, like we have nothing of that here.
For me here, because I've been down here 5 years now, and this is my 4th year in the house I'm in now. And like in 2018, we had hurricanes come through. Well, I hardly got any rain from them. We got a bunch of wind, but hardly any rain. Scary thing for me is like the tornado season. The last month and a half, when we've had these crazy storms coming across the south, we've had tornado watches and tornado warnings, and it makes me really worried what this hurricane season in the summer is going to be like here.
Yeah.
To where, because we had such a mild winter this winter, I ordered a second canner. I ordered some racks to put in there so I can double stack in there.
Good.
And I'm getting little things here and there and getting stuff so I can even have more prep.
Yeah, you got to stock up, yeah.
My son's 14 years old, and he's like, Mom, you need to get rid of all these empty jars. I said, no, because they will be full this summer.
Oh, yeah.
See how much plants I have outside? They will be full.
Yeah, that's good. And we do a fair bit amount of canning, too. I actually got my first canner last year. I was borrowing my neighbors for the first few batches, but then I got the All-American, but it's a vintage one, and I posted a video on my tomato soup base that I make with all my tomatoes, and Ben's parents saw the video and they're like, you don't have a canner? Like, I have one that's just laying here, so present. And I was like, what? Amazing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check out the tomato soup base video, because there's some things I want to do with all my tomatoes this year.
Yeah, I love that recipe. Seriously, you don't even have to peel them. You just put them in, you cut them up in pieces, put all your harvest in there, and just, it's pure gold. I love it. It's one of the nuns from the ministry here, because I live in a very old community, and it's one of her recipes, like, that's been passed down.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
It's good that they shared that with you. One of the things, like, being down here, living in the South is totally different than living in the North. Because I've talked to friends of mine from high school about it, and they said where we were up north in New Jersey, you wouldn't get people that, if you didn't have enough money to buy food, that would say, okay, I'm going to pay for the rest of that for you. And you wouldn't get that up there. Down here, the hospitality is so much different. And I have friends up in Canada, and we talk about things that they see the same thing up there that I see down here. And I think it's just where New Jersey is, because it's that tri-state area with Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey. You've got all that money going around there, and they just worry about themselves. They really don't want to help each other like they do here.
Well, I think the more you go into the cities, I see that here too, but like the more you go into the cities, the more rural you are, and the smaller community. Like I live in a city where there's 800 people. Everybody knows each other. So,
oh wow. That'd be nice.
I mean, we share a lot of information. Like I have milk cows that come and eat my pastures in the summertime in exchange for services, and we exchange a lot of. We have a beautiful community here. It's just really amazing.
That's awesome that you have that one. I'm gonna hop off here, so in case anyone else wants to call in, they can. It was really nice talking to you, and I can't wait to see what videos you come out with this summer with your horse.
Thank you. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, thanks for calling, Terry.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Bye, Terry.
Good night, Jean-Philippe. Thanks for coming in.
Okay, so that's all there is to it, folks. I mean, nothing. She's not biting tonight. So, any questions about what it's like where it snows every other day? Oh, here we go. We have another person calling. This is Daryl. Who's calling, please?
This is Patty G.
Oh, hi, Patty.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. It's really fun to see you up on our big screen TV right now.
Right? Oh my gosh, my face must be so big.
You look beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, we were just thinking about how long we've been watching you. I remember I started following you when Karen from the little Busy House. What was her name? Busy Little House. She said it was your birthday and to go over and wish you happy birthday, and so I did. And that was what, 2 years ago, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, that's amazing. Yeah, Karen is the first one that found me from this community, and she introduced me to the group, to the small YouTube homesteaders. And yeah, I was under 100 subscribers, and she was just like rooting for me from the beginning, and she's been a great supporter. And she's in Quebec too, so you know, she was just really happy to find somebody else from Quebec.
Yeah, she was such a sweet girl. I haven't seen her in a while. We used to talk to each other a lot in chats on lives and stuff, but she has a house full of little kids, so I'm sure she is busy.
She is, yeah. She's got a lot of like the homeschooling and everything. She's got a lot going on. She rescued 2 of her old horses that she had. She's been busy. I mean, I totally get it.
Yeah, we miss seeing her around, but we have sure enjoyed all the stuff that you've been showing us, and I love the relationship that you have with your horse. It is so sweet to watch.
Thank you. Yeah, Copper he's been in the family for a long time. I think he's 18 years old this year, and we've had him in the family since he was 3 years old.
Wow.
And he like is seriously like just a spunk of a horse. Like he bucked me off like just 2 weeks ago. Yeah, he's a youngin'.
That's pretty neat that you kept him. I was wondering, are you ever thinking about working with the youth again, like you first did a couple years back? I know because of the pandemic or whatever that went on that you had to kind of quit that. But have you ever thought about doing that again?
I have. It's just the finances that were hard to get because I had a grant for that summer, and it was not very well managed. And I hate having to owe something to somebody. Like I love doing things on my own. So if I ever do it again, it'll be on my terms, and I'm gonna figure out a way to get the grants on my own and not have to go through a third party to do it. Yeah. Because I was placed with another. They called her like the responsible, she was like in her 20s, early 20s, but she had no authority with the kids. So I had 10 teenagers with a girl that had no authority. So it just like I wasn't able to separate the groups and say, okay, I'm going to teach you how to do this. It would definitely be a smaller group. Like I would probably do like 6 teenagers and I would be the only person, But it definitely later on, like I started this farm not necessarily to make money but to give a lot back because we're in a place where we can do it. Like I'm not doing this for the money necessarily. I just need to stay busy because it's so weird to say this, but like I'm sort of retired, like it's really weird to see.
That would be a good thing to do in your retirement. That kind of sounds funny. You're so young.
I know, right? It is sort of weird because Ben stopped working when he was 26. We had kids. I became a stay-at-home mom. He makes enough money to support the farm, right? To keep everything afloat. And so
that's great.
I was sort of searching for something to like be able to compensate, and the YouTube answered that question, to have like my own money and say like, okay, I want to build my trailer too, you know, like have my own money. And so the kids, all the profits were going to them. I had the grant. It was nice. I was able to get all the equipment. So I have all that equipment to put to good use. Mm-hmm. So eventually, when my kids are going to be a little bit older, it would be nice, because that whole summer that I had the teenagers, I had my 2 children with me, so it just made it all that much harder.
Yeah. Well, I really respected you for what you did. You seem like you were a really great teacher for them and stuff. So, yeah, if the Lord opens the door, maybe you'll get to do that again. That would be cool.
Yeah.
But I can understand maybe when your girls get older or something.
Yeah. I always dreamt of like working either with like the teenagers, because it's really an age that's in need here, just to keep them out of trouble. Yeah. And I also love working with the elderly, because they just have so much wisdom and they're so lonely. Like, so it saddens me. Like, I used to work in inspection and appraisal for the city, so I would be the one that would knock on your door and raise your taxes. but I would walk into so many homes, and like I would literally, my heart would break when I would walk into a home and there was an elder lady or a sir that would be by themselves, and all they wanted was company, somebody to talk to. They would literally like grab me by the arm and pull me on the table and say, sit down, you're having coffee with me, you know, and we would just talk and talk and talk, and I just loved that. Like, so it would either be working with the elderly or with teenagers. Like, I get so emotional talking about it. But
well, that sounds like a great avenue too. Maybe I've heard of organizations that get the elderly with the youth, and maybe they work together a little bit. So that sounds like a really neat opportunity.
It really is. It really touched me. That whole summer that I did with them, and I built these relationships, and I saw like where, you know, some of these kids were really troubled, you know. Mm-hmm. So it's sort of,
that was great that you were there for them, though. And yes, kids about that age, you know, they go through a lot of changes and stuff too. So that was pretty cool. But I just wanted to tell you that it was great to see you grow in your channel. And yes, Mac, my husband's over here reminding you that we are also Southern Blessed Homestead, watches you and supports you too.
Yeah, I love you guys. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome.
All right, well, I'll get off here and let someone else get on and talk to you, but it was great to talk to you, and we are supporting you wholeheartedly, dear. You take care.
Thank you so much, Mac and Patty. You guys are awesome.
Take care,
much
Patty.
Love. All right, bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Wasn't expecting to shed a tear on your live stream, but it almost came out. Almost. I held it in.
Patty's a sweetheart. I just adore her.
She is. Her and Mac. They're. I love them. They're so funny.
Yes. Yep.
We'll leave the phone up for 5 more minutes. If anybody's got any last things, I'm sure that you've had a long day up there today.
I honestly, I've just been geeking out on this live stream platform and trying to do that, and then have my kids like on the desk right in back here. They're like doing school at home, and well, my youngest one isn't, but she loves to just watch what her big sister's doing while she's doing it. So we do that in the morning, and then in the afternoon. Well, it was snowing today, so it was really sucky. So I just sort of stayed on my computer while she was doing that, and the kids were playing. Honestly, I was being a bad mom. But they were having fun. They were playing. They made a mess. They made a huge mess in my house. I need to clean it up tomorrow.
That's what kids are for.
Yeah, like I literally cleaned out my whole house last week, my whole entranceway. Like I had a whole bunch of things come in from Amazon, so I had like these big boxes. It's amazing. It just mind boggles me the size of the boxes that things come in.
They
to
send
come
you these
in,
little
to
tiny
have another
things.
box inside of it.
Yep.
And then like I have all these boxes, but thankfully I have them all to burn. But like, you know, yes, Bettina, fourth winter again. It snowed again. Again. Yeah. So yeah, it just mind boggles me. So I had all these boxes. I've been burning them and trying to keep the house warm, you know, making a whole bunch of winter foods to keep the stove running all day so that, you know, it would heat. Yeah, we're like in that weird period. Next year we're going to have a lot more wood. I'm telling you right now, like a lot more. A lot. Probably have like, I don't know, 20 something cords because we have the garage too. You know, if you want to heat the garage, you got to heat it up with wood too.
So do you have is it like a wood furnace or is it a wood burner type stove or fireplace?
Yeah, we have a wood furnace that blows the heat in the house, the whole house. That's one of the first things that we did when we got here because when we got here, the insurance company didn't want us to keep the existing setup because we had two stoves. Well, we had like one wood furnace in the basement, and then we had the stove cooktop stove, and they were on the same chimney, and it was a brick chimney. So we had to get that whole thing out and then replace it and put one system on the chimney because we have to have one system per chimney.
I see.
So that was a big chunk. That was a big chunk of investment, but it was very worth it though because, you know, it saves us on electric and we have the wood. So.
Oh, absolutely. So out of that 200 acres, how much of it is woods? Would you say?
We have 30 acres of pasture, and the rest of it is mixed hardwood, softwood. We have a good amount that's a plantation that has been planted out maybe like, I would say like 7 or 8 years ago. So we might see the fruits of that when we're older, or, you know, if one of our kids decide to take over, you know, maybe we'll leave it there for them. But then we have maple trees. We have a good cedar patch. And what else do we have? Oh, we just have a whole bunch of wood here, but like mostly we have softwoods, which is fir. Is it fir? Well, fir and Christmas trees. That
yeah, fir would be a softwood, evergreen type.
Yeah, evergreens. So yeah, so 30 acres of pasture, but the pasture, like I said, it's overgrown. There's just bush all over it. Like I don't know if you guys saw that video where I got chucked from my horse. Well,
yes,
I got chucked into a bush, and those are everywhere. First year we got here, we put the big, massive, how do you call that? The débroussailleur. I'm thinking in French right now. It's like a big mower, like a huge mower that cuts down like trees. And that's what we had to do because the whole forest was trying to take over our pastures when we got here.
Wow.
So I mowed it down. I think actually in my video that I have my first full year in 15 minutes, I think I showed a clip of that in there. Like how we got here, how it was before. And it just changed so much. Like it's crazy in 4 years how much it changed.
Okay, Mallory, I have a question for you. I don't know if you can answer this or not.
Yeah.
But it has to do with your being bilingual.
Yes.
Because your English, there's virtually no accent.
Yeah.
I do not think, anyway. I'm not noticing any.
Yeah.
I know more of an accent. People out of New York or from down south, they have more of an accent than what you do. So on the French side, because I have watched a little bit of some of your French videos, I don't have any idea what you're saying. Not a clue.
Yeah.
But from a French standpoint, do they feel that you have an accent that's not your native?
Yeah, definitely. I have like an English accent when I speak in French, and it's not my first language, right?
Right.
So I'm not pure Quebecoise, but I do have the Quebec accent because I've been here for so long. And you know what's funny about accents? Like I went to school, elementary school in English here in Quebec, and I did my high school in English as well. So since we were in a French environment, my parents decided to send me to English school to have both of them. And that was in Thetford Mines in Quebec. And I went out with Ben a few years ago into this restaurant where you eat in the darkness, where you cannot see anything. And the waiters are blind. And so you have to follow them into the darkness, and you have to eat and use your whole other senses, right? But at the end of that night, it was so fun. We talked with the waiter, and he said, "Mallory, you have an accent the same as one of my friends." And he named her, and I was like, "I went to elementary school with her." And I was like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, so I have that accent from where I went to elementary school, pretty much. From Quebec.
This restaurant you're talking about, I'm fascinated. You say the waiters are blind?
Yeah, the waiters are blind, and the way that it is there's like a few curtains that you have to get through, and there's no windows. It's pitch black. Like, it's seriously, you walk in there and you have to hold on. You have to do the train with the waiter and walk through, and he'll be like, "Okay, you're gonna sit here." And when Ben came into the seat, it was a round, like a U seat, you know, where there was a couple on the other side, and we didn't know. So he was just scooting along on the seat, and he put his hand on the lady's lap, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry." So like, you really don't see anything. There's 3 courses, but there's like three entrees, 3 dinners, and 3 desserts, and then you can choose to have like the drink that comes with it, alcoholic beverage. And and they like have top chefs there, and it is so good. And you don't know what you're eating; you have to guess what it is at the end.
Well, that's different.
Yeah, it is.
I've never heard of such a place.
They could feed you cottage cheese, Daryl.
I think you should do a video of that place. It'd be easy. It's just all blank.
I seriously would love to do a video. And you know what's cool is, like, we would just do like guessing games, right? And be like, okay, how many people do you think are in this whole room? Like, because you'd hear everybody talking, but you wouldn't see them, and you'd be like, I wonder how many people are in here. And then, like, all of a sudden you start, you know, you hear the person next to you, so you start talking to the person next to you. You have no idea what they look like. And like, we hit it off with the people that were sitting at our table. They were on their anniversary, and you know, the way that it's set up, they give you pretty strong alcoholic beverages with your meals. So Ben was driving, I was a little bit talkative, and so yeah, we hit it off with that couple, and we ended up, like, they got there like a half hour before us, and they ended up leaving at the same time so that we could see each other at the end, and it was really cool.
Wow. So like if you have to go use the facilities, do you somehow ring a bell? And
yeah, well, when you call your waiter, you have to call him by your name. So you're like, "Hey, Danny, I need to go pee." So like, "Oh, okay." So he'll come, and he had a little bell on him, so you'd know when he'd be there. And so you just hop on, and he did a joke. He's like, "Okay, Mallory, you're gonna have to go into the elevator, and then you're gonna go left and right and right." So I'm like, "Okay, no problem." So I'm there following him. He opens the door. He's like, "The light's to your right. Close the door, turn on the light." So I'm expecting to go into an elevator, but like, an elevator doesn't have a door that opens. Like, I'm right in the bathroom, and I'm like expecting to be in the elevator. So I turn on the light, and I'm like, "Oh, okay. Good one, Danny." That was fun.
Oh, well, I hope they have lights in the kitchen where they're doing the cooking.
Oh yeah. Like, when you come in, there's like a bar, and then you see the chefs, and you talk with the chefs, and they're so nice. I love that restaurant.
That just sounds cool.
It really
is awesome.
I've never heard anything like it.
Yeah, but you're not allowed to bring your cell phone, camera, or anything in there, because, you know, you have a locker. You have to lock everything up. You're not allowed to bring anything in there.
Wow.
It's just to keep the full darkness.
Well, and that kind of makes sense, but
yeah.
Do you happen to know the name of it? I mean, is that something you can drop in the chat here or anything?
Yeah, but here, yeah, it's called Au Sixième Sens, which is the sixth sense. I'm gonna type in here, but it's going to be loud. Sorry, my keyboard's on something. Oh, try not to make too much noise. Sixième Sens. It's going to be in French, though, most likely.
Yeah.
I don't know if we can do it in English. Oh, they probably do because, it does have it in English. If you guys don't know, Quebec is a very touristic place, and we are known for our food and our culture. And one day, I'm going to have to go into the old Quebec City and show you guys. Oh, I'm not a moderator. I can't drop the link in there.
Just type something. We'll fix that.
I just put the link in there. Hey, Ali Oakley.
Go to that place wearing glow-in-the-dark makeup.
When you get in there, it's like really a cool ambiance, and every single time I've been there, I've been greeted by the owner, and there's writings on the wall that are blacklight fluorescent, and it is just so cool. I love going there. Am I a wrench? Can I do it?
Just type something in so I can catch your name here.
Okay, yeah, I typed in there a little while ago, so I'm gonna wait till I don't want to spam your chat.
Oh,
it hasn't shown up yet.
Yeah, I don't see anything.
Yeah, the old Quebec. Oh, you haven't seen it?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna do it again. The old Quebec has the Chateau Frontenac, and oh man, it is so beautiful. I'm gonna have to go into the old city and show you. And in the Christmas time, they have this setup where they have all the Christmas lights, and you go through the village, and everything's like a paved rock road, and they still have the horse carriages in there, and the old houses. Everything is protected. The architecture, everything is protected. It is so gorgeous because it dates from, like, I don't know, 1604, I think, is the foundation, the year that Quebec was founded. It's a pretty old city. I just love old Quebec. I usually get there, I usually go once or twice a year, but I think I went last year only one time to go visit with some girlfriends when we had the break, COVID break. But now everything's just locked up again.
That won't work like that, Daryl.
I'm seeing that.
Yeah, if you put it there, you have to have the URL.
Oh.
That's why.
Yeah, Vineyard Chicks, you went to check Quebec on Google. Yeah, go check it out. Go check, type in Old Quebec City, and you'll type in YouTube, and you'll see the images. It's just so gorgeous. There's just so much history on Les Plaines d'Abraham, the battle of what was the battle? So many lives were lost on that battlefield, and they have protected that battlefield. And you just see, there was a big summer festival here, and over 100,000 people show up every year on that site for shows, for a very, very festive. We're very, very festive culture here in Quebec. And that's why the lockdown has been really hard on a lot of Quebecers. I mean, it's hard for everybody, but there's been a lot of, I don't want to say this to be a downer and everything, but there's a lot of people that I know that have taken their life this year. A lot. Too many. So, just to raise awareness, keep in touch with your old friends.
Yeah, that's true.
Keep in touch. Even if they don't contact you, contact them. Just keep in touch. But you're going to have to come visit, and you're going to have to come here, and we're going to have to do some camping together.
Well, as soon as they open up the borders, I'm ready.
Yeah. And we were supposed to have some woofers up here. I was looking for a trailer, and I had found one, at the price that I wanted, and it wasn't too far away, but it got sold like 30 minutes after it got posted on Marketplace. 1812 Plan d'Abraham, is that the battle? I think so, probably. That could very much be right, Danielle. But yeah, so I guess I took off my application to be a host for woofers. Well, actually, it was workaways, because I was getting so many messages from people that wanted to come, and I wasn't able to provide a place for them. And I was so sure that I was going to be able to find it, because last spring I would be on Marketplace and I'd be looking for trailers, and I'd find them at like $500, $600, and in pretty good shape. But this year, everything went up, and I'm like, I cannot, for the love of me, pay like $3,000 for something that I would pay for last year for $500 or $600, right? I'm like, there's nothing. There you go, au sixième sens. You got it. Yeah, that's the restaurant.
Yeah, I went and found the URL here.
Awesome.
I don't know why nothing was coming across with your name on it here.
I'm not sure it was posted in the main chat. It might have been private chat.
I posted it right in the main chat there for some reason, but
yeah.
Oh, hey Dawn from Little Mountain Life and Big Bear. Hi. Nice to see you guys. Yes, all borders need to be opened up. I agree.
Well,
I'm just so tired of this.
That's absolutely fascinating. We've been on here for a while, so
yeah.
I want to thank you very, very much for sharing your time with us here tonight. I've enjoyed it thoroughly, learned a lot, and looking forward to a lot more of your content on the English side.
Yes, of course.
I can. If I go to your French channel, it's like just looking at the pictures in a book. I can't read it.
Oh yeah, like don't go subscribe to my French channel if you do not understand French or you're not going to watch it. And same for my Quebec Homestead channel. Don't go subscribe to my channel just because I'm on here. Like, if you're going to watch it, cool.
Right.
Like subscribe, but like don't subscribe just because
Yeah.
I'm not fishing for subscribers. I'm fishing for views.
Yep. You'll end up losing that subscriber anyway, so.
Yeah, and it's so weird. Like I got all these subscribers all of a sudden since January, but like nobody's watching my stuff. So I'm like, what's going on? Like, it's so hard to figure this stuff out. So I'm just still learning. Howie, best live stream ever. I love you, Howie.
So Mallory, any last thoughts here?
Yeah. Any last thoughts? Well, thank you guys so much for having me. I've been watching you guys since, you guys were like the gateway to the community, I guess, because, and you're the first people that I send people to, if they're starting a channel, because I get so many messages of people that are like, oh, I need information on how to start a channel. And I'm like, well, there you go. Like Thorhaven, I brought him in here. Remy, I sent him in here. I sent a whole bunch of people to you guys just because, you guys helped me a lot when I started. And, you take some, you leave some, and you figure out what you want to do with the information given, and it helps a lot. So
well, we've cut way back on the Tuesday night and Thursday night. I don't know if we're going to do it once a month or if we're just going to maybe wait till next winter.
Yeah.
I just don't know. But it was getting to the point where we just weren't getting anybody there.
Yeah. Well, it's like there's an expression here, too much is like not enough.
Yeah. That's true.
So there's that expression that we have here. And I think maybe that was getting to the point where you do have an awesome back catalog, though. I go through your back catalog for like some people that are asking me for Canva questions and stuff, and I'm like, oh, go to this video, and so it's like all of a sudden there's so much that you can go over until you just run dry. You know, like, what am I going to talk about?
Yeah.
You know?
Can we
So
just
I
use her for
totally understand
PR?
that.
I don't see why not.
Will you be our PR person?
I'm not a very good PR person, I think. But yeah, I do send lots of people your way because you have an awesome back catalog on information stuff, and you know the live streams are very educational, and so
Mallory,
Appreciate
thank you so much, Mallory.
Appreciate that.
I don't stop by as much as I used to because I'm just so busy creating content and learning and you know
Well,
trying to figure all this stuff out.
That
So.
and you have a life.
Yeah. I'll say you know as a creator you sort of have to make a decision. Say, okay, I'm either watching or I'm creating.
Right.
And I decided to create.
Mm-hmm. Totally understand.
Sherry?
Yeah.
What?
Any last thoughts?
I enjoyed it. I've been waiting for this one for a long time.
Been a great night.
Since I found her in her wee early stages and said, come on over to Facebook.
Next week.
I'll lead you astray.
Next week we have another wonderful content creator that has
Big Bear, we need to have Big Bear do the intro for the promo. Jason, would you do that for us? Jason does her voice perfectly. We need to have him do the intro. That would be perfect.
but next week it is what is she calling herself nowadays?
All I know is Farmer Meemaw. A hot mess.
Yeah, for the longest
Farmer
time.
Mima.
For the longest time, it was Farmer Meemaw. I'm sure you can still find her channel by typing that in.
Yep.
But
Yep.
everybody will absolutely love it here next week. So just remember, folks, go out and do something today that makes tomorrow better than yesterday. Take care, everyone. Have a nice night, and we will see you down the road.
Down the road.
Bye-bye.
Much love. Bye.